Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The body of water that you see to the right of our forward motion is the Seven Seas Lagoon. The Seven Seas Lagoon is a man-made creation that took 3 years and the removal of millions of cubic yards of earth to complete.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is the gateway to the magic, ResortLoop.com. Once again, joined by
his lovely wife, Dawn.
Now, we're very excited to talk about this subject today. This is actually something I had been thinking about for quite a while, like on my commutes back and forth, that I should do a show on this. You're actually putting this into practice. But my idea was, why feel like you have to do every single park on your vacation? I'm going to let you get into this because you're going to get more like how it applied to this certain family.
Right. So I have a friend who has been thinking about taking a trip to Disney World with just his two youngest and his wife. And they have a large family. And his older children are involved in quite a few different sports, and taking a large family trip just isn't logistically possible for this family because they just have too many sports commitments and other types of work commitments and things.
Right.
So
Takes up time and money.
Absolutely. A lot of money with this large of a family. So it just wasn't possible. But the two youngest have, been asking to go to Disney World for quite some time. They see the commercials on TV and whatnot. And I think the littlest one has been telling her dad that she needs to meet the princesses, not she wants to. She needs to meet the princesses.
Right.
So he's been trying to make it happen because I think the other kids have gone to Disney World, but she's not. So it just hasn't, been possible. So he's been trying. So he figured out that over spring break, they had just a couple days that they were going to drive down, which is about an entire day's drive to get there. So he lives near us.
Yes.
To drive down, 2 days at the parks, and then drive back was about what they could manage. And he says, it's just going to be a really quick trip. And what did we think? And so as a good travel agent, you ask, your client, what do you think would be best and beneficial for you and your family? What do you think the girls would like the best?
Right.
And he says, I honestly think, even though there's 4 parks there, that we want to focus on the Magic Kingdom. We want to do everything at the Magic Kingdom because that is where, they're going to get their most enjoyment because they're young girls.
Absolutely. Very smart.
And he said, even if we do repeated things at the Magic Kingdom, because they're going to find rides there that they really truly enjoy, and they're going to want to do those more than one time. And so he just has 2 days at the parks. That's it. And so I think 2 days at the Magic Kingdom is very, very smart on his part, because if they go to the Magic Kingdom one day and the girls see things that they want to do and the line's too long, or the ride, is down for the day, and because those things happen and it's out of the family's control, I think that's really smart to just have 2 days there. Because
that's 2 rope drops where you can get a lot of stuff done.
Absolutely. And they're going to be resort guests, so they're going to be able to go that half hour ahead of time. So that's really smart.
Right.
So I said 2 days, that's smart. Do the Magic Kingdom both days. First of all, the girls are little. And to them, Disney World is the Magic Kingdom.
Absolutely.
They don't really know the other 3 parks really exist, because what you see on TV is the Magic Kingdom for the most part.
Right.
They don't really know anything else. They know the princesses. They know Mickey and Friends. That's what they associate with Disney World. So to focus on the Magic Kingdom is smart.
Absolutely.
So...
and if they see something else, like what's this big ball? You just say, we'll take care of that on another trip. We're going to see the castle today.
Right. And I don't really think they're going to even know that, really, truly. They want to see the castle. They want to see the princesses. They want to see Mickey. And that's what they're going to do. So that's what we're going to plan for them to do, and make sure that they know how to get around to see those things that are so important to them. So they heard about Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique from another friends from theirs. So we're going to cross our fingers because they've got one day to get an appointment there. So we're going to be up and getting that appointment for them at midnight when we can get online and get that appointment for them, to get both little girls in to get that experience in for them. And then hopefully our fingers are crossed that 1900 Park Fair is going to open so they can have dinner.
Let's hope.
I hope so. If not, then hopefully either Chef Mickey's that same day that they have Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, or maybe Crystal Palace the day that they're at the Magic Kingdom.
That's true. That'd be a good call.
I think that's a good option too, especially maybe since they're going to be at the park all day. They might want to sit down restaurant that day just to kind of get off their feet for a little bit.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll ask them what's best for them that day. But to really have those good experiences, and especially if you only have 2 days, you really want to maximize your time.
Mm-hmm. I love this plan because it takes also a lot of stress off the parents.
Right.
Because they don't have to plan, what are we going to do at Epcot? What are we going to do at the studios? Are we going to get in the Star Wars stuff?
Right.
Just concentrating on the Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Great call.
Exactly. So I'm so excited for them. I would love to be a little fly on the wall because it's a surprise trip. The girls don't know. So it's just going to be a surprise trip. They're just going to wake them up and say, get your backpacks packed and, get in the car. Here we go.
Here we go.
So it'll be super exciting for them.
Now, the good part, or not a good part, but something to consider, if you're only going to the Magic Kingdom, what resort did you recommend for them to stay at?
Well, because this is such a short trip and they only really need a place to shower and sleep, I recommended a value resort, and I actually recommended All-Star Movies because they did not need to stay on the Skyliner, which, Pop Century's a little bit more than the other values because of being on the Skyliner.
Yes.
I think the girls will love the movies. I think it's well themed and a lot of fun. So I recommended they will have their own car since they're driving. So they don't have to rely on the buses if they don't want to. They can.
Yeah.
Although they're going over spring break time, so the parks will probably be a little crowded. So that means the buses are going to be a little crowded as well.
Right.
At the end of the day, it is always nice to be able to hop on that tram and head out to the villain section or wherever you are, heroes or villains, and hop off at your stop and hop in your own vehicle, and you are on your way very, very quickly rather than waiting in line for another bus to pass by.
That's true.
So I always enjoyed that, being able to have my own vehicle. So you're back in your resort pretty quickly, especially at the value resorts or moderates, and you can pretty much park right outside your door and there you are. So that's nice. So that's what we, plan for them. Hopefully we'll be able to get the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique reservations for both girls and get the dinner reservations for them, and they can just have an absolutely magical time, even though it's a short time for them.
Yes.
So.
And I love it because it also removes the stress of, you don't have to get a park hopper.
No, they don't.
You have to stay there till 1 or 2 o'clock, whatever the time is now, and then go somewhere else because you're just going to be concentrating on the one park.
Right. So in planning his trip, I've just had an absolutely wonderful time teasing him, and he's not been to Disney in quite some time. And so, I gave him the quote, and then I said, you really need to have a nice character meal. And he didn't have any idea how much that was. And so I said, I'm going to write down a piece of paper and then I'm going to leave your office. And so he's like, oh my gosh, as I walked out the door. And so then a little bit later, I said, there are certain things that you have to have at Disney World.
Oh, okay.
And I said, one of those things is you need to buy the Mickey ears.
Oh,
and I said, or the tiara, whatever they want. I said, just buy. He's like, well, I said, no. I said, buy the Mickey ears, buy the tiara. He's like, well, I know, just buy it. And I said, and the autograph books, you have to have the autograph books. If they're going to be meeting Mickey and friends and all the princesses, you have to have the autograph book. Well, I said, and at night when they roll out the cart, just buy the light up toy. Oh, no, just buy the light up toy. Just be quiet and buy the light up toy. He's just looking at me like, oh, Scott.
That's awesome. Do you think he's going to buy a balloon also?
I told him to skip the balloon.
Okay.
I told him the balloon was not necessary. The balloons are very, very expensive.
Right.
And I said, not only that, balloons can be a driving hazard. They get in the way of your view when you're like driving.
Oh, yeah. They're not going to make it the whole way to the car anyway.
Yeah. I mean, our balloon did. I mean, Mackenzie deflated hers.
Oh, yeah.
But balloon, I fail to see the value in there's no value in the balloon whatsoever. But I don't see the appeal in the balloons.
No, the balloon's just for joy while you're at the park.
They are. And no, just the light up toy. I mean, our kids got a lot of enjoyment out of those light up toys.
I can still hear it spinning.
I know, the Buzz Lightyear one.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we had that thing for years, and I packed that thing, and we took it back with us years and years later. So buy the light up toy because we used ours for years. I don't remember which one. Did Mackenzie ever have one, or does Stephen just pass hers down to Mackenzie?
Yeah, it might have been passed down.
I can't remember.
I only remember Buzz.
Huh?
I only kind of remember Buzz.
Yeah, we just put fresh batteries in him and took him along.
Yep.
I mean, we used him on the 4th of July. We used him for a long time. He was a good value.
Buzz was a value.
So buy the light up toy.
Buy the light up toy.
The only thing you do not need to buy is the bubble toy.
The bubble guns.
No. They leak. They're a mess. We fell for that one time. I will never fall for that again. And I don't even think it was at Disney World. It was at the zoo.
Probably.
It was at the zoo. It was not Disney World. It was the zoo.
Yeah.
We fell for the bubble gun.
Yeah.
No. Do not buy the bubble gun.
Suppose they don't have the hand sanitizer gun now.
Ugh. Yeah, that's what you need. But no, the bubble gun, no, it was a sticky mess. I think that thing went in the garbage the minute we got home.
Yeah.
It did not stick around long.
No. Now, do you see them taking advantage of, because the package they got, they'll actually get miniature golf tickets also.
I don't know if they have time. They possibly could.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they will have time. But they might.
They might. It's a good option to have.
It is. It's just a good option to have.
You never know. It's spring break. It gets super busy in the middle of the day. They just want to get out for a little bit.
That could be.
We'll see.
But I think you have to use those tickets before 4 p.m., I believe. I think there's a restriction on them.
That could be.
So I don't know. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll just make sure they know all of their options, all the things that they can do, and go from there.
So before we wrap it up, what's the moral of the story?
Buy the light up toy. No.
Buy the that's the
Just
hashtag
kidding.
T-shirt. Buy the light up toy.
Buy your kid the light up toy. No, I think the moral of the story is if you have a short period of time and you either A, find super cheap flights, or B, you're within a driving distance and you want to take a quick trip, do it. And know your target audience, know your kids. What would they get the most enjoyment out of? Do you just want to go to a few parks? Are you just really interested in, the Magic Kingdom because your kids are really little? Don't think you have to do it all, that you have to go to every single park. Are you going to be happier taking a long weekend trip a couple times a year rather than a long 2-week trip? Would your work schedule allow that a little bit better? Decide what works best for your family. If you can just get away, take a few breaks a year. I wish we could do that. That would be awesome.
I always thought that, more frequent trips rather than longer trips.
I would love to do that.
Would be a little bit better on your peace of mind for, working and all that kind of stuff. Get you out of Dodge once in a while.
I wish we could do that. That would be awesome if we could do that.
Right.
So, what works best for you, And don't feel like you have to do it all, especially if you can take those frequent breaks throughout the year or even just,
exactly,
get away, make those memories.
Never assume that your one trip is going to be your only trip.
That's for sure.
I think that's where a lot of people get hung up on, and they start getting anxiety, like we have to do it all now.
Right.
If you just figure, no, we'll go back in a year, 2, 6 months, whatever you're going to do.
For sure.
It'll be
Take the
there.
time and enjoy it. And if your kid wants to ride Dumbo 6 times in a row, ride Dumbo 6 times in a row.
That's right.
Because, that's their enjoyment. Stop and enjoy what your child's enjoying at that moment. Because, what are you there for? And don't not go because you think, well, my child's not going to remember it.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible.
Take the pictures, put the pictures in an album. I know so many people have the pictures on their phone. You can buy those, cheap little plastic albums, right by the photo center at like Walgreens or Walmart and whatever, put some pictures in there, give that to your child, go through the pictures, this is when you rode Dumbo. This is when you rode Barnstormer, go through those pictures, help create that memory for your child. And even though your child might not remember that in the future, you still remember your child's reaction. You know, I know Stephen doesn't remember that he rode, when he was 4 years old, rode Barnstormer 6 times in a row.
Right.
But he did. But I remember that. And I remember the enjoyment and this pure pleasure he got from that.
Absolutely.
And the cast member who just loved it. And he probably would have allowed him to go a 7th time, except I was going to get sick. And I'm like, Stephen, baby, we got to get off this thing.
Right.
But Stephen would have gone a 7th time.
Absolutely. And by taking those pictures, they have pictures you can recreate as they get older.
Oh, exactly.
And they're going to be that much better for everybody. They're going to be like, look at this. We did both of these.
Exactly.
Good stuff.
Exactly. Don't sell yourself short on your memories and your enjoyment.
So
it's
true.
not just for your child.
No.
It's for you too.
Right.
Walt Disney World created Disney for the family.
That's right.
Not just for the kids.
No. I love it.
There you go. That's my TED Talk for the day.
TED Talks by Dawn. So it's a Dawn Talk.
There you go.
Oh, everybody, thanks for joining us. I've really enjoyed talking about this. I can't wait for hopefully a follow-up. Maybe we can have them on to talk about
There
their
you
trip
go.
later.
Maybe. All right.
And I will say, before we do wrap it up, those quick 2-day trips, they seem fast at the time, but when you look back on them, they feel much longer.
Yeah. They're a good stress reliever. Good little break.
Awesome. Once again, I'm Tim Scott. Thanks for joining us. You've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I might be on Instagram. I don't know. I need to look. I need to probably take some pictures if I'm going to do that.
You might.
Everybody, you've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic.
See you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoop.com.